Parshas Emor, Tufshin Ayin Daled. Now it's public information. Everybody in Lakewood actually knows that we're in our last couple of weeks here in the South Side Sandwich Shop. And the truth of the matter is, Lamaisa, the owner of this establishment, has a tremendous chus of about somewhere over 200 shiurim we have said here at the South Side. And we're hoping in Mirz Hashem that he'll find a new location. Of course, we're going to miss the homey, delicious atmosphere here. But we're rooting for the store. There's a tremendous chus of Limud HaTorah here, of learning the Parsha each and every week. And of course, we're going to miss this place. It's like home for us. Over 200 and some odd straight Thursday nights of having a shiur here. As you see, we put up some commemorative, as anybody who's been in the store sees that there are many, many different commemorative things here. They're going to need a moving truck just for those things alone. But now we have to commemorate being evicted from the premises. This week's Parsha discusses the Yomim Tovim of the year. As we get past the halfway point of the Parsha, we discuss the Yomim Tovim. And included in the Parsha of the Yomim Tovim is the time of the year that we are in right now, which consists of the time between Pesach and Shavuos, the Yemei HaSfira, the days that we count between Pesach and Shavuos. And there's a pasuk in the Parsha that talks about this period of time. And the pasuk tells us, Sheva Shabbosos Tmimois Tiyena. 7 Shabbosim, 7 complete Shabbosim it should be. So Nesivos Shalom brings from the Beis Avraham that we could derive a very beautiful lesson from this pasuk. During the Yemei HaSfira, at least we know every person is supposed to be, like we mentioned and we began to talk about last week, every person is supposed to be trying to grow a little bit each day. You're supposed to be taking a step up during each day of Sfira, every day that we count. During these weeks, says the Nesivos Shalom from the Beis Avraham, during these weeks we should at least see to it that the Shabbosos that we spend should be complete. Sheva Shabbosos Tmimois Tiyena. If you're not on the Madrega, and you're not at the point where you can make every single day count, which is ideally the way it should be, but at least Sheva Shabbosos Tmimois Tiyena. That the Shabbosos, these 7 weeks between Pesach and Shavuos, you should steig during the Shabbosos of this week. The Ramchal brings down in the Nesivos Shalom Shiur, we've mentioned it also, we've mentioned it a couple of times, that there are 2 separate things. There's Tahara and there's Kedusha. Tahara means, says the Ramchal, it means separating yourself from things which might be bad. But as we've mentioned previously, Kedusha, like we said in Parshas Kedoshim last week too, Kedusha is higher than that. Kedusha is where all your actions become Kodesh. Not just separating yourself from bad, but where all your actions, everything that you do, becomes holy. The Yemei HaSfira, as we mentioned also last week, are set up for you, for each person, to attain these madregas of Taharu Kedusha. Like those of you that say the tefillah after you count the Omer, we say Torah ves Kadesh b'Kedusha Shomayla. Tahara and Kedusha. That's what it's meant for. That's what it's here for. In order to be ready for Kabbalas HaTorah, we need both Tahara and Kedusha. During the days of Sfira, we go with, says the Nesivos Shalom, Usfartem Lochem. And again, he says a beautiful diuk in this pasuk, Usfartem Lochem, count for you, Lochem. What do we do during Sfira? You work on the inyanim of Lachem. You work on the inyanim of Gashmias. Things that you're totally doing because of Gashmias, things that you do in Gashmias the entire year, those things during Sfira, usfartem lochem, make the things of Gashmias have Kedusha. And the way to begin that, says in Nesivos Shalom, is like we just mentioned, is to concentrate on Shabbos. To concentrate first and foremost on the Shabbosos of these 7 weeks. Like it said from the Kabrina, Zechusayagan Aleinu, we've mentioned a few things from the Kabrina lately, and here's another beauty. The Kabrina says, we say in the Zmiros, Kodesh hi lochem Shabbos hamalka. So he touches it up beautifully. That on Shabbos, the lochem, the Gashmias parts of your life, need to be Kodesh hi. Kodesh hi lochem. The mundane, irregular things that we do during the week, Shabbos, Kodesh hi lochem. They need to be infused with Kedusha. And the ikar part of the preparation for Kabbalah HaTorah and the Sheva Shabbosos T'mimois Tiyena is to make sure that the Shabbosos are T'mimois, that they're complete. And although Kedusha is actually a difficult madrega to reach, but the Mesillas Yesharim says that although it's difficult to reach, we know how you do it. First is hishtadlus. You have to do what you can do. You have to take your steps. And then HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives you the final push. How? HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives it to you b'matana. You take the step, and Hashem gives it to you in a matana. That too is the inyan of Shabbos. Chazal tell us regarding Shabbos that HaKadosh Baruch Hu said to Moshe Rabbeinu, Matana toiva yesh li b'veis genozai b'Shabbos Shema. Shabbos is begeder, it's an inyan of a matana. And if you're looking for a matana to steig to the level of Kedusha, you want to get that, Shabbos is the perfect time. Because Shabbos itself is called a matana. Shabbos is mesugal for the matana of Kedusha that we're looking for. One matana has the capability to bring you to another matana. If you make the effort during the week and you try to steig, when it comes to Shabbos, HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives you that matana. On Shabbos, you're zoicha to that matana. And really says in Nesivos Shalom, you have to know that HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world, this world of Olam Hazeh, where nothing is b'shleimus. When you define Olam Hazeh, it can't be complete be'etzem. That's the taich of Olam Hazeh. In Yemois HaMashiach, in Olam Haba, then you see the completion. Olam Hazeh, we talk a little mystical things here now, but Olam Hazeh is not complete. Nothing in Olam Hazeh can really be complete. But Shabbos is the neshama of Klal Yisrael and the neshama of the Torah. With the koyach of Shabbos, a person can reach that completion. Ein Chanami, it's true. In Olam Hazeh, nothing can really be complete. But with Shabbos, you're able to reach completion. But how do you reach that completion? That's only if your Shabbos is complete. A complete Shabbos during these weeks gives you Shabbosos T'mimois, a complete Shabbos. And every one of us is looking for ways to elevate ourselves during Sfira. We're looking for ways that when it comes time for Shavuos, when it comes time for Kabbalah HaTorah, you should not be the same person you were 7 weeks prior on Pesach. That's what Sfira is all about. If you're the same person, then you didn't go up. You didn't do anything. You didn't add any Kedusha to your life. In order to be Zoicha to a real Kabbalah HaTorah, the Nesivos Shalom says you have this Eitzah. The Eitzah of Shabbosos T'mimois. And in order to do that, you have to change the way we act on Shabbos. A complete Shabbos means that you don't act the way you did last Shabbos. You don't act the way you did any previous Shabbos. You have to change the way you talk on Shabbos. You have to change how much and what you learn on Shabbos. A person has to be ready and willing to grow on Shabbos, to take advantage of the special gift, this matana of Shabbos, that we are given. On Shabbos, we're given this matana, the ability to leap up, as we mentioned, from Tahara to Kedusha. And it's wonderful to see that we have a lot of action here tonight before we close down in a few weeks. It's fantastic. Everybody's coming in. The Nesivos Shalom says something in a different place. I saw a different Nesivos Shalom this week. And he says, in a different piece altogether than the one we mentioned now in Parshas Emor, in a different piece he says, and he talks about wanting to work on these things, like we mentioned now, a person wants to work on these things on Shabbos. A person needs to know, he says, that as the nature of the world, the way HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world is, that as soon as you are determined to grow, you make a decision that now, Shavuos, I'm not going to look the same way I did on Pesach. I'm going to grow. I'm going to be bigger. As soon as a person makes that decision, that is the Yetzer Hara's cue to step in. The minute you commit yourself to do something bigger, a madrega of Kedusha, that's where the Yetzer Hara steps in. And a person needs to understand that. And you need to expect it. But you have to know that as soon as the Yetzer Hara steps in, that's when you redouble your effort. That's when you have to know that he will be there and you have to fight it. And that's the way to work toward a Kabbalah Torah, to understand that it's not going to be without challenges. The minute you're committed, it's going to be with more of a challenge. And the more you commit, the more you're going to be challenged by the Yetzer Hara. But that's what it's all about. Every day is a new step up, a new struggle, and a new obstacle will be thrown in your way. But where do we start from? We start from tomorrow night. We start from Shabbos. Sheva Shabbosois T'mimois Tiyena. At least if you can't grow every day, at least make the Shabbos something special. At least understand that on Shabbos we have to act in a different way. Kodesh hi lochem Shabbos Hamalka. The way you eat, the way you learn, the way you talk, the way you interact with other people, the way you walk to shul, the way whatever you do on Shabbos, you're able to elevate it to a new madrega. So let's talk. We learned a new meaning in this pasuk of the Yimei Asfira. Sheva Shabbosois T'mimois Tiyena. We learned you have a new meaning in the pasuk now. You have a new way to grow. You have a new way to do things. Let's take advantage of it and continue to go up a step each and every day of Sfira, starting this Shabbos too.